Luigi says it's time, so it's time. Let's do this. Okay, hi, thank you so much for coming. I am going to canter through 3 hours worth of content in 30 minutes here. So if I talk fast, I'm really sorry. And if I skip over things and you want to know about them, please just come and get my card and I will happily send you the slides or talk to you about anything I don't get to. Because I'm going through so much, I'm going to totally skip over an introduction other than to say I'm a marketing consultant. I work across a number of different B2B sectors, but recruitment marketing is absolutely my favorite because recruiters are the most hardworking, the most undervalued, the most innovative, and the most fun people. So all I want to do ever is just make your jobs easier. I'm going to talk about 3 different things if I can get through them all today. LinkedIn, email, and SEO. And I'm going to talk about those 3 things because in my view, recruitment companies are doing a really, really good job of noticing that marketing is important. But the opportunities you're missing are in really using that marketing to bring you leads. If you are spending money on your marketing and that marketing isn't directly bringing you clients, it's because you're not doing it right. And there are similar mistakes that I have seen recruitment companies make time and time and time again. And today I'm going to try as best I can to go through some of those and fix them. So you should go away today with about 20 things that you can do immediately to improve your marketing. We're going to start with LinkedIn because it's the easiest. And I suspect that every single one of you comes from a company that has a LinkedIn page. Yes? Yes, you all have a LinkedIn page? Great. I suspect that more than half of you, in fact, I suspect that more than 3/4 of you are using that LinkedIn page as your main driver for your LinkedIn activity. And if you are, I'm really sorry, but you're doing it wrong. That's not how to win on LinkedIn. If you want to win on LinkedIn, you need to be working through your recruiters because the reason LinkedIn is such an excellent opportunity for lead generation is that it is a social network. People are there to meet other people. People are there to chat to other people. People are there because they want their egos stroked just as much as you do. So the way to really build relationships is not through your company page because I'm really sorry. I bet it's brilliant, but no one cares. People are there to build relationships with other people. So if you really want to start getting people sliding into DMs, you need to do that through your recruiters. People buy from people. The question I am asked the most about this is, well, what do I do when they leave? And here's the secret, right? If you invest in your recruiters, you already know this. If you invest in your recruiters, if you put the time and effort into helping them to make money, which they will if they do it this way, they're not going anywhere. They're sticking with you because they're making money and that's what they want. So you want to work on their profile. How do you do that? Well, okay, so there are going to be a minimum of 6 people in this room today who accidentally have their profile picture set to private. Sorry, go away and check, because if your profile picture is set to private, that means when people aren't connected with you, they can't see you, and when you want to connect with them, they're probably not going to connect with you because they can't see you. So number 1, make sure that your profile picture is set to public. Number 2, try and brand it. Try and stick out, try and ensure that all of your recruiters either have the same colour background or have a ring around their profile. Try and ensure that when people see your recruiters, they link it directly back to your brand. They should know at a glance that that person works for you. The second really important thing that people forget is this here. This prime advertising real estate right above the fold. I bet loads of you have got branded ones, but I bet none of you actually use it to say exactly what you do. Let your recruiters have a branded header that says immediately what they do. If they're a fintech recruiter and they only recruit for C-suite roles, say that in the banner because people can see it right at a glance really quickly. They can tell if they're the right kind of person. So brand it but personalize it, and also your headline, exactly the same thing. Tell people what you do immediately. If your headline says recruitment consultant, do you know how unhelpful that is? There are so many recruitment consultants. If you have a specialism, please tell people what that's supposed to be. The next thing that you need to go away and do immediately when you leave this room is go and change your LinkedIn profile to creator mode. And there are 3 fantastic reasons to do this that are all on here. First of all, if you are in creator mode, you get to say these keywords that you talk about, and for me, obviously, that they're marketing, but for you guys, it's going to be whatever your niche is. You set your keywords up, and then every time you post about those keywords, LinkedIn goes, oh, they're an expert in this. I'm just going to boost this post a little bit. And then on that post that you've put out, there will be a little follow button for everybody who's not connected with you. So someone will read that post and go, wow, that was interesting. I'm going to follow that person. They don't need to go to your profile and follow you. They can do it there and then. Really easy. Great. You just made another connection. And finally, and this is the best one, you get this section here called featured content. And this is so much better than an about section because it is a visual way of showing people anything you want to show them. You can pin your 6 best posts, or you can pin a salary survey, or you can pin a ways to work with me, or you can pin a link back to your website, or you can pin a link to your Calendly to get people to book a meeting with you. It is a really quick, really easy, really visual way of giving people the information that you want them to have immediately. Cantering on then, also you have an option on your profile to put a link, and that no longer has to be a link to your website. So if you want to set up a meeting booking type tool like Calendly and get people directly from your profile to book a meeting with you, you can do that. And then finally, very quickly, your about section. If your about section says something like, I'm a really hardworking, conscientious, fantastic recruiter, please, oh, for the love of God, go away and change it. Because your about section, the secret is it's not about you. It's meant to be about your client. It's meant to be about your audience. Use your about section to say who it is you are trying to talk about, trying to talk to. Use it to point out their pain and then tell them how you solve that pain. That's the whole thing for your profile. If you go away and do those things, automatically you will become more attractive to your audience. Now, about your content. Okay. Where am I? Sorry. Your content should be consistent. It should be engaging, and it should be helpful. If you can't post every day, don't try and post every day. If you can only post twice a week, just post twice a week. But if you're going to post, make it useful. Make it useful to your audience. Make it useful to your niche. Make sure that your audience understand who your niche is from the content that you are putting out there. Use the comments as much as you possibly can. If somebody comments on one of your posts, reply. Please reply. Like, it's good manners for one thing. Can you imagine if someone came up to you in the street and started talking to you and you're just like those people aren't going to come back and try and have a conversation with you. If you keep replying to them, if you keep the conversation going, you are building a relationship. Also, on top of that, it boosts your post a little bit more every time you do. Build conversations. Vary the format of your posts. Don't just do text post after text post after text post. Try carousels, try image posts, try videos. I know videos are just the hardest thing to do, but it's so worth it. You will get so much more engagement and so many more impressions from videos than you do text. Just give it a go. I promise you are a beautiful soul and people want to see your face. I promise you. Stick testimonials out there as much as you possibly can because social proof matters. And the most important thing right there in the center, please, don't try and be someone you're not. LinkedIn is a social network. Go and be yourself because the thing you have to bring to the table, you are the only person who can bring it in the way that you can. And if you turn up and you are yourself, people are going to qualify themselves in. People are going to decide, that's the one for me. That's the recruiter I want to work with. That's the company that really reflects my values. Don't try and be a corporate if you're not a corporate. Don't try and be a cool startup if you're not a cool startup. Just be yourself and you will find the right clients doing that. Okay, very quickly onto InMail because again, this is where the cardinal sins occur. Okay, right, so If you go on a date with someone and you ask them to get into bed on that first date, people aren't going to be very impressed. InMail is exactly the same. If you send a message to someone and that very first message is a sales message, people are so turned off by that. So please don't do that. There are a bunch of other ways that you can do this. So some tips. First of all, when somebody connects with you, send a voice note. Say, hi, thanks so much for connecting with me. It's lovely to have you here. Show them how excited you are to have a relationship with them. I mean, to connect with them. You see, I've gone too far down the tangent of relationships. I apologise, I'm coming back. Mention things that you've got in common. If you've been to the same event, if you've had a similar employer, if you work in the same industry, if you have things in common, talk about those things, because you are 27% more likely to get a response if you have spoken about something that you've got in common. Okay, message around triggers. Like, look out for those cues. If someone's changed job, if someone's had a promotion, if someone's looked at your profile, these are times, if someone's spoken at an event or done a webinar, these are times to get in touch. It's brilliant because it shows that you are engaged in their life, that you care about them as a human being and not just as a prospect. Show up elsewhere in their lives. I mean, not in, like, don't stalk them or anything, but comment on their posts. Comment on posts that they've commented on. Get them to know your face. Help them to see that you are just a part of their network. You know, you're there. You've all got same friends, and it's a small little network. Be everywhere. Be as many places as you possibly can, and do that before you message them, so that when you do message them, they already know your name, they already know your face, they're already warmed up to you. Try and use the word you at least 6 times as many times as you use the word I, because newsflash, they don't care about you. They don't care about what you've got to sell. They don't even know that they need your services yet. So tell them what their problem is, or if you don't know what their problem is, ask them what their problem is. Make your message at least 80% about them, and then just swoop in there at the end and show them how you can help them, how you can save them, how you can be their hero for the day or for the year or for, however long you want to be, really. The 80-20 rule, which I'll come back to in a little while, is that you should spend 80% of your time crafting your subject line, because that's what gets people to decide whether or not to open. That's way more important than everything else you've got to say. And on that, when you do get into the actual InMail, don't use more than 50 words, because you are talking to extremely busy people, and you know this already because you are extremely busy people. When was the last time that you got an InMail that was 3 paragraphs long and you went, oh goody, can't wait to read this one? No. Keep it as short as possible, get your point across, be succinct, be quick, and be skimmable. I'm going to move on to email very, very quickly, because where are we? Yep, I'm already 13 minutes in. Okay, so email. You, as recruitment companies, have so much data. This is another reason I love working with the recruitment companies. You have more data than just about any other sector I've ever worked with, and you are almost certainly not using it to its potential at all. Email is a captive audience that you own. You're not waiting for LinkedIn to push your post out. You're not beholden to whatever the algorithm says. That is your data. If you get blocked on LinkedIn, you still have all of those email addresses that you can do whatever you want with, well, almost whatever you want with. There are so many amazing tools on the market that can help you keep your database clean and current and up to date. Use them. The tech is there. Things like ROI.ai, it's there. It even changes the status of your data from active and inactive to inactive, depending on whether or not they're actually, opening your emails or responding to your emails. Things that I do need to say about your emails are: keep them short, keep them entertaining, and make them automated. The biggest mistake everybody makes with emails is thinking that they need to be really long and packed full of loads of information and loads of value, when the truth is people don't have the time to read a massive long email. What they want is something that's skimmable, that's easy to digest, and that gives them value. And if you do that, it will win you repeat business, and let me show you how. Okay, so say you place a candidate. At the same time, a client makes a hire. You've got two aspects that you're coming from. You've got the client aspect, you've got the candidate aspect. You can create an automated journey incredibly easily that will get you from that candidate being placed all the way through to repeat business. By day one, you're sending your candidate a congratulations email, well done, you got the job. You're sending your client a feedback request, we got you a candidate, we hope that went really well. Let us know if we could have done anything better. A week later, you can send your candidate, hey, here's some top tips for your first day. Have you thought about where you're going to have lunch? Have you thought about what you're going to wear? Are you going to leave 10 minutes early to make sure that you're not late? You're also sending onboarding tips to your client. You're saying, hey, you've got a new starter. Here's 6 things that you can do to make them feel more welcome on day one. On their start date, or potentially the day before their start date, because, you know, everyone's a little bit too nervous on their first day to care. Good luck on your first day. We hope it's brilliant. Hey, by the way, did you remember that you've got a new starter tomorrow? Is their tech sorted? Have you booked meetings for them? Have you done all those things? Are you ready? A week after they've started, just send a very, very short, how's it going? Everything all right? Because do you know what's a real pain? When you place someone and then a week later, I'm sorry, it really didn't work out. Can I have my feedback, please? You know what? It's really easy to head that off just by asking the question, is everything going all right? Can I deal with any issues that you're having? Head it off before it even happens. Request a review from your client to make sure that everything's going okay. A month later, and this is where the kicker is, this is where the repeat business is. How's the team going? Did you like your new job? Time to build out that team? Do you need anything? Or to the client, need anything else? Know anyone else in your business who needs anything else? I did a great job for you, remember? This is going really well, so let's take it to the next step. All of that completely automated. You don't have to touch it. It's done for you. It's repeat business that you're not lifting a finger for. Why wouldn't you do that? So some things very quickly to remember with your emails. The first is test. The second is test. The third is test. Make sure you test your emails because, when you send an email and there's a mistake in it, we've all been there, but it's so painful. Every now and then it can work out when you send that oops email and you get a higher open rate, but you don't want to go there. So test. Clear is better than clever, and simple is better than smart. So understand what it is you're trying to say. Choose one message and put that across. You are talking to people who have almost no time to read your emails, so make it as easy, as clear, as simple, and as short as possible. Number 1, add value. Your message is less important than the value you're adding to them, and that might mean that it takes 4 or 5 emails before you can make a sell in your email. And that's okay, because so long as each one of those emails is helping to build that relationship, helping to build that trust in you, you'll get there eventually. As I mentioned before, your subject line is really, really important. Also, your from name is really important. Please don't send the email from your company. Send it from your name, because people aren't going to open it if it's from your company name, and they're much more likely to open it if it's from the name of the person they've already been talking to, because they have a relationship with that person. The first line of your email has only one job, and that is to get people to read the second line. Remember that when you're crafting it. That first line, that's the killer. Make it a hook. Calls to action, put them in more than once. Don't just have one call to action in your email. Give people lots of opportunities to book a meeting with you, or lots of opportunities to go through and read your salary survey, or lots of opportunities to have a conversation. Segmentation, that means when you take all of that masses of data you've got and go, okay, I'm going to chop it up into really small little sections, groups of people who are similar. The better you do segmentation, the better you can do personalization. And the better you do personalization, the better the relationship you're going to build. You are more likely to get a response from a hyper-personalized email. And that means you are better off choosing a very small section of your database to go at and doing a really good job of it, because you are more likely to get responses that way. You are more likely to win business that way. If you decide, okay, I'm just going to email everyone one blanket email, you are much more likely to piss people off than you are to actually convert anybody. So choose a really small segment and convert 50% of them instead. And finally, measure everything that you can measure. Measure everything, and then learn from those measurements, because the more you measure things, the more you learn, the better you get at this. That's everything on emails. I'm going to rush through to SEO. Has everybody heard of SEO? Does everybody know what SEO is? Yeah, great. SEO is basically showing up on Google. So I want you to think of the internet as one huge library, the world's biggest library, and you are an author, and your website is a book that you have written. You need to give the librarians, or bots, the right information to be indexed in the right place, so that when someone then comes along and goes, hey, I need a book on fintech recruitment, you're the people that they show. You're the website that they come and get. So keywords will get you indexed properly, and it'll make it easier for people to find you. Now, big news flash, and I'm really sorry about this for those of you who have just spent hundreds of thousands on new websites. People like your flashy new website. Google doesn't care. Google doesn't care at all that you've had a new website. The only thing they care about is if you are giving searchers a good time. And by that, I mean you need to make sure that your content is useful. You need to make sure you have an easy-to-use structure. You need to make sure you're answering searchers' questions. So let's answer the question of what do search engines want. This is my favorite acronym in the world for obvious reasons. EAT. Yep, definitely. EAT: experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So in every bit of content that you create for your website, the search engine cares about these things. Experience, i.e. what you know. Expertise, i.e. who you are. Authority, that's who you know. And trust, is your site safe. That means every time you publish an article, you need to show that you have experience in that topic. You need to show that the author has some expertise or some qualifications in that subject, and you need to show that you're an authority. That's why you want to get other companies, other organizations, and other websites to link to your content. And do you remember earlier when I said it's a really good idea to have a great LinkedIn profile? Well, when you start linking back to people's LinkedIn profiles, you are immediately showing both your experience and your expertise in that subject if that LinkedIn profile is filled with the same keywords. These things, they all go together. So how do we do that? Content pillars. You want to choose core topics, and those are your main keywords. And then you want to go and research all of the things that searchers are searching for around those keywords. And my little secret, which I give to you today, answerthepublic.com, you put the keyword in, and it tells you all of the things that real people have Googled on that topic. All you have to do then is go away and create content that answers those questions. It's so simple. A few things that help with that: put content tables at the beginning of a blog post, because it helps the bots realize everything that's in that piece of content. Use infographics wherever you can, because it will increase your web traffic by 12%. And on top of that, you're more likely to gain backlinks from other websites, because people really like pictures. Go figure. And then links, like I said, if you can add author and credentials in there, if your recruiters, for example, write each one of your blogs, I know that they don't, but if you say they do, and then you link back to a LinkedIn profile that is full of really great content with the same keywords, you're just going to look so much more knowledgeable. You are going to look like, here's the word, thought leaders. And isn't that what it's all about? Okay, some details then. When you can link your internal pages together because you're talking about similar topics, that makes it easier for the bots to go all over the website and go, all of this links up. This isn't just one random topic. They know so much about this. So when somebody does search for one of those keywords, your website has all the answers to all the questions, not just one answer to one question. Make your links descriptive where you can, so the bots can see at a glance and people can see at a glance what it's about. Your header tags, this is a real big bugbear of mine. Your header tags aren't for aesthetics. It doesn't matter that you want a really bold, big title in the middle of your content. Your H1 tag is for your very first title to tell the bots what the title is. Then your H2 tag is for your main topics, and your H3 tags are to break up those topics. Don't mix them up, please, because it just makes it so much harder for bots and people to understand what you're talking about. Content, try not to duplicate your content anywhere. If you have swathes of content that you've taken from somebody else's website, Google knows that it is clever enough to tell. Don't copy people's content and don't copy your own content. Try and create helpful, original content over and over again. Hit people's pain points. Ask people what they want to know about. Survey people. Use your social media pages to survey people and find out what content they want and then write about it. Answer people's questions. Backlinks, think about that as your digital PR. You want as many other websites as possible to reference you. There are entire strategies around this that I don't have time to go into, unfortunately, today. But if you are interested in backlink strategies, come and talk to me after. I can talk about them all day. And then time. I'm really, really sorry, but SEO takes months. It takes months, and that's because if you're going to do it, you've got to do it well. It takes a long time to start ranking, so don't expect those results immediately. But if you start now, then your finish point is a lot sooner than if you start in a year's time. Okay, keywords, very, very quickly. Research your keywords before you do anything else. Work out both your long tail keywords and your short tail keywords. That means fintech, for example, might be a short tail keyword. A long tail keyword might be what are the highest paying jobs in the fintech sector. Those are both sets of keywords, and you might want to create content for both of them. Only if you work in fintech though, because if you don't, it'd be really weird. Don't just throw them onto the page. That's called keyword stuffing, and Google knows and they hate it. Use the keywords properly where they're supposed to be used, but also use context words that are similar, that explain the context around them. Don't just shove the same word on the page 60 times, because that's not helpful to anyone. Add your keywords to your URL when you can. Add them to your meta description where you can, to the first paragraph, to your title, and if it makes sense, to your image description. But with your image description, remember that is there for screen readers, so it's more important to be descriptive than to put your keyword in there. And then finally, write for the user and not for the bot. I know I've just spent all that time telling you what the bots want, but actually the most important thing is that your content is helpful for the people reading it, and that's how you will rank. The more people who find your content useful, the more people who read it and share it and keep going back to it, the more Google will go, that's a popular book, I'd better go recommend it to other people. Okay then, we're nearly there. Don't forget you can create local pages using local SEO. Only do this if it makes sense, if you have a local hub in an area, if you do volunteering work in a particular area, if you've done local events. Think about that hyper-local content. It's gonna help you for people searching for recruitment companies near the NEC in Birmingham, for example. And then Google My Business is a free and easy way to start your SEO journey. If you claim your business page, you are going to get a boost to your visibility. It's completely free, it's easy to use. You can ask people to give you reviews on there, you can put your opening hours on there, holiday closures, you can promote offers on there if you want to, set up Q&As, use your keywords, add images. It's another way of people finding you really quickly, and you show up on Google Maps. So your chances of being seen increase exponentially by being on there. And have we got any questions? 1 minute. minute. We have 1 minute for questions. I'm really glad that I finished that on time. Okay, before the question, if you do have questions or you want to talk to me, please come and get a business card. I have some freebies to give away on there, like LinkedIn banner, templates that you can go away and use, and SEO tips and things like that. Question, Wendy.
You said about original content, don't copy your own content.
Thank you. You said earlier about keep doing original content, don't copy your content. Does it matter if you've put like that content on LinkedIn and then you put it on your website as well?
It doesn't, but do it the other way around. Put your content on your website first, let it rank first, and then, or let it be crawled first, and then go and put it on LinkedIn after.
Crawl.
Yeah.
How long does it take to crawl?
You can use, I can talk to you about this after, you can use a tool to get it crawled basically instantly. That's it. Thanks so much. If there's any other questions, do come and speak to me, please. I'll be here. Thank you.